I started playing guitar back in 1976. I was in college. And I got to bring the race thing up again. I went to a 98% white college, Connecticut College in New London, Connecticut. My brother lived across the street. He gave me a little bit of money to go to the school did, and I went there to be a biology major, and small liberal arts New England college, everybody had a guitar.
You were up in Baez and Parsons country, weren't you?
Tell me about it. That's what I'm talking about. And Aztec two-step and all these groups. And everybody had an acoustic guitar. So there I was with, you know, sitting around with nothing to do, and finally got myself an acoustic guitar. But what all I wanted to play was, you know, ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Oh yeah, all I wanted to do was do Motown and you know, R&B on the acoustic guitar. So, but yeah, everybody had an acoustic guitar in college, and that's pretty much where I got started.
But now your career, the music career, didn't really take off to the 90s. Did you just put it on hold, or did you not get any bites in the 70s and the 80s?
I just wasn't very good. I know what I wanted to do. I just didn't sound like anything that anybody would want to have anything to do with. I didn't sing in tune. I didn't play that well. I had a sound in my head that, you know, I had some lyrics that I wanted to put down that were trite at the time, and I didn't really have a lot of language, but I really wanted to play guitar in front of people and tell a story. And I stuck with that all the way through. I went through a very devout jazz stage where I tried to be an acoustic jazz vocalist, guitarist, and kind of like I was trying to be Earl Klugh and Al Jarreau, kind of rolled up in one, with some Sarah Vaughan and Billie Holiday thrown in for kicks, you know. And so I took this whole route. I took this whole route musically, where all I wanted to do was play guitar and sing. So it was an evolution. You know, I didn't start to sound like anything that anybody would want to listen to until the 80s or 90s. That's the truth, man.
What caused the change? Was it just the persistence and the hard work, or do you remember? When do you remember that? When was that aha night where you said, "Okay, now I'm closer to what I want to be and what I want to sound like"?
Honestly, I was working in the public schools during the day and playing guitar in nightclubs and stuff at night, doing cocktail things, and I lost my voice catastrophically. I was speaking like this in the classroom during the day, and I couldn't sing at all. It was a pretty catastrophic loss, and I remember I was playing a night in Dedham, Massachusetts, at this one small little place, and oh man, I remember this so clearly. I wasn't making any sounds at all, hardly. I couldn't make a sound. And then I took a break, I had some tea, I got back up on the stage, and I could sing. And it was a fuller, more warm tone. I don't know what happened, some kind of, I don't know, muscular thing or what, but I made a promise then that I was going to really give this a shot. And I also heard that my voice was getting a little warmer. It wasn't as high and as reedy as it was before then. And that was kind of the flip. And I'd say also in the last 5 years, my voice has come into its own. And I'm actually pretty thrilled with that. It's an older tone to it, you know. I'm in my 40s now.
No, I find that peculiar because, like I said, everything I've read about you mentions you as like this kind of out-of-the-box phenom in the early and the mid-'90s, but you personally don't feel like you've come into your own except for in the past 5 years.
You know, man, if I was an out-of-the-box phenom, we'd be having this interview in my penthouse somewhere. You know, I mean,
well, at least on the coffee house and the open mic circuit, you know, your popularity spread by word of mouth.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you what I've read.
Right. I mean, well, you know, we make it as large as it can be, and as small of the pond as, you know, this acoustic music folk thing. Yeah, I mean, people took some notice of me. Definitely. I mean, Sean Colvin thought it was cool what I was doing, and I went out on the road with her, and And Tuck and Patty really liked what I did, and Tom Rush took me out on the road with him. Not Rush, but Tom Rush, the folk singer. But yeah, I mean, it was. Let's just say it was big enough that when the hammer falls nowadays, and a lot of singer-songwriters that have been out there for 7 or 8 years, suddenly you don't hear about them. I won't mention any names. I'm still working, so I went from from kind of early folk phenom to that's a guy who's he's got a nice voice. His writing's getting better. I mean, and it's also a very stringent scene in a lot of ways. It's like a self-cleaning oven. If you don't write well, you're not going to get heard in this scene because people are listening to a lyrical legacy. They want to really hear a lyrical legacy. And that's something I hope that I'm leaving at this point by just writing a better lyric when I can.